You know what? So what if somebody is living on housing assistance, or they're collecting welfare, or they're collecting food stamps? Since when is that a measure of a person's character? Hey girl, somebody, little troll. Yeah, it's beautiful out here. This is a really nice place I live in. There are people here who are on housing. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But that is certainly not a measure of my character, and people shouldn't measure each other by how much money they have, or whether or not they're on housing, or whether or not they are collecting food stamps. That is not a measure of a person's worth. What kind of person sits around, points their finger and says, "You're on welfare, you're on welfare, you're on welfare"? So what if I was on welfare? So what? Like, since when is that an insult? But you know what? It says more about the person taking their fat little fingers and then extending their fat little fingers out and then pointing their fat little finger at another person and saying, you're on housing, you're on assistance. That says everything about the fat-fingered little person or big person who is making that statement. Nobody cares about people's opinions about whether or not somebody is on welfare. That is the bottom of the barrel commentary. This is when you know somebody has absolutely nothing else of value or worth to contribute, because they take their fat little finger and they point it and they say, you're on housing, you're on housing, you're on housing. So what if I am? Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. Doesn't matter, because my character isn't based on how much money I have or don't have. My character is ultimately based on how I treat other people. Now, I made an apology to a certain someone on YouTube, but he decided to pervert it and take it and turn it into the most evil thing. And that's what people do. I'm going to tell you something right now. I do not hate Dante London. In fact, I'm rooting for him. I am rooting for Dante London. I've been watching his videos. I'm like, is it 5 o'clock yet? Is it 6 o'clock yet? I can't wait. I want to see what he does next. And there's so many bullies in this community. Oh my gosh, you can't do anything. You cannot be autonomous. The minute that you see what happens in communities like this is, as soon as a person is autonomous and they decide, you know what, I'm going to break away from the tribe and I'm going to maybe go a different direction. Oh, people get so upset about that. They get so mad. They get angry to the point where they have to start attacking your character. Now, you can't attack someone's character unless you're familiar with their character. So when people want to attack my character, that's fine. Go on ahead and attack it. But I'm still going to tune in at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and be watching Dante's latest. I want to see him win. I want to see Dante win. I want to see him getting his bag and winning. My own personal opinion about how another person handles their life, I can't believe I let myself get into that. I can't believe that. Well, I can believe it because I can be a real troll sometimes. I can actually be an awful, hypocritical person. I don't want to be that anymore. It's funny how when you do something and make a decision for your life that betters yourself and thereby is going to affect other people in a good, positive way, people don't like that. They want to start pointing their fat little fingers and saying, "You're on welfare, you're on welfare, you're." I remember when it was actually monopoly money, and when you were on welfare and you'd want to go to the store and you just want a little privacy. You don't want, everyone and their mom to know you're on welfare, but then you have to whip out the actual food stamps. Yeah, I remember that. I lived through that. So maybe I'm on welfare now, and maybe I'm not. You know what? You can keep hurling your insults, and it's funny how people want to bully you when you decide to think for yourself, but this video is about over. I just wanted to say, I might be on welfare, I might be on welfare, maybe I am, maybe I am, nee 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 nee. Guess you'll never know.